As cases of the coronavirus continue surging in New York City, Governor Andrew Cuomo, Mayor Bill DeBlasio, and Department of Education Chancellor Richard Carranza were faced with intense pressure from the United Federation of Teachers, Educators, and Parents to make one tough decision: the closing of the largest school district in the nation, the New York City public school system.
I regret to have to announce that as of tomorrow, our public schools will be closed, and we will be suspending our public schools until after the spring vacation. And I'm going to say this very precisely. We will make a first attempt to restart our schools on Monday, April 20th. But I have to be honest that we're dealing with a lot of unknowns and a lot of challenges.
Breakfast and lunch will be available for any student who wants it, starting tomorrow through April 8th, the first day of spring recess. We understand that there are students that may not have devices. We understand that there are students and families that may not have Wi-Fi connection at home. We are working with a number of partners. We estimate about 300,000 of our students are in need of devices, and we believe we can actually get devices into the hands of our students who need them. We're going to also prioritize our students living in temporary housing, our students that are living in poverty, and students that do not have access to those resources.
This decision came on the heels of public pressure under the hashtag Close NYC Public Schools and an announcement by UFT President Mulgrew stating that UFT will take the case to Supreme Court.
First, we will ask the court to order that the New York City starts complying with the state mandate on the closing schools process, which it currently is not doing. And we will also be filing a complaint at the state level with the Department of Labor for unsafe working conditions.
Elected officials like New York State Senator Alessandra Biaggi and Assemblymember Victor Pichardo, among many others, joined the fight to speak up against DeBlasio and Carranza's initial reasoning behind keeping schools open, putting teachers and students at risk during this pandemic.
The COVID-19 crisis, which is what we are in at the moment, has been escalating in a way that has not necessarily put the teachers or the students' health first. It made no sense to keep the schools open. I'm very glad to hear that the New York City schools will be closed. You know, there's a plan in place that 1199 has put forth so that any individual who is concerned about childcare or school meals, right? A lot of students in New York City receive breakfast and lunch from our schools, and we're making sure that they will still receive the food that we know that they need.
Let's say a child or a young person or a teacher lives with an elderly parent or an elderly adult in the household, and either they're immunocompromised or they are tend to be sort of on the elderly scale. They could potentially get sick and create a healthcare emergency in that household. And I think we can figure it out. We just have to make sure that we're doing not only right by the city of New York, but also making sure that we deal with a lot of the concerns that come from closing schools and creating a contingency for that.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced a recent bill passed by the House of Representatives called the Family First Coronavirus Response Act, which would also provide much-needed relief to many concerned over their finances during the virus, now especially with the closing of schools. Senator Biaggi explains what the bill would provide.
It would provide, number one, free coronavirus testing. Number two, emergency paid sick leave. Number three, emergency paid leave, right? So we know it's not just about sick leave, it's about taking time off if you're not sick, because right now people might not be sick and might still want to work from home. It's about expanding unemployment insurance and expanding food security so that $1 billion can be accessed to programs like WIC and SNAP, and that the emergency food assistance program will be accessed throughout the entire pandemic. Listen, we don't know how long this is going to last. The only way we will get through this is together.
As a reminder, breakfast and lunch grab-and-go distribution will be starting at 7:30 a.m. at every school in New York City. Computer devices will be distributed to families without access to resources soon, and remote learning begins after March 23rd. The New York City Department of Education is urging parents to create an account at nyc.gov to keep up to date. Reporting for BronxNet, Sanji Lopez.